Will the Black Goo return in Alien Romulus? In the new trailer for Alien Romulus, while examining the hive mist covering a walkway, the android character known as Andy is holding onto some sort of vessel housing a number of about 5 or 6 tubes, which each look to contain some sort of liquid. What could this mystery substance be? Is there a possibility that it could be the Black Goo from the 2 previous movies, Prometheus and Alien Covenant? The Black Goo was an extremely potent mutagenic pathogen consisting of millions of small micro-organisms. It was manufactured by the alien species known as the Engineers. It was designed to act in a dual role to create life forms and also to act as a biological weapon. Due to its volatile nature at ambient temperature, the Engineers housed the pathogen within special containers known as urns. Those affected by it were subject to various violent mutations. In the prequel movies Prometheus and Alien Covenant, the pathogen was used by the Engineers to create life on Earth, or at the very least, human life. In the distant past, a chosen engineer drank the substance which broke down his body, repurposing his DNA to create a new organism, giving birth to the human race. Clues left behind by the Engineers allowed a scientific expedition funded by the Wayland Corporation to track them to the planet LV-223, which housed an engineer outpost containing thousands of Black Goo urns. Detecting the humans' presence, the urns began to release their contents, which leached into the soil, mutating native earthworm-like creatures into hammerpedes. David, the mission's android, collects a sample of the pathogen and spikes Holloway's drink with it to see what happens. Some of the other members of Wayland's expedition are infected by the Black Goo, creating violent mutations in some, and in the case of Elizabeth Shaw, has to remove a creature known as the trilobite from her own body. Once grown to full size, the trilobite attacks the last engineer, impregnating it with an embryo, which emerges as the Deacon, a xenomorph-like creature. When David and Shaw use the remaining engineer ship to travel to a planet known as Paradise in search of the engineer homeworld, David drops the entire payload of the Black Goo onto the planet's residents, which are thought to be another human-like species created by the Engineers, wiping them out. In the ensuing years before the Covenant arrives, David experiments with Dr. Shaw's deceased body and the Black Goo, creating a new xenomorph strain called a neomorph. When the Covenant's crew finds David, some are infected and attacked by the necromorphs. David's latest experiment is a new iteration of the creature, which is essentially a more primitive xenomorph called the protomorph. He tricks the survivors of the Covenant by disguising himself as their android Walter, as we last see him with a couple of facehugger embryos and access to all the Covenant's colonists ready to continue his experiments. So, if true, the inclusion of the Black Goo would connect the new movie with the 2 prequels, and it would make sense with Prometheus and Covenant both being set before Romulus. If we take a look at the part in the trailer with the facehuggers escaping, we see that they are not inside eggs like they normally are, but seem to be kept inside some sort of incubation unit, with each facehugger being surrounded by a membrane of thin material it can escape from when ready. Could it be that these facehuggers have been essentially reverse engineered and grown by human scientists artificially? And where have we seen that being done before? That's right, David using the Black Goo. So it would make sense in that regard for the Black Goo pathogen to exist in this new movie. Something else that could hint at the prequels being acknowledged is that Ridley Scott is actually involved in the creation of Alien Romulus, so it's unlikely they'll just trash everything he's done in the last 2 films and act like they didn't even happen. So do I think myself that the Black Goo will appear in Alien Romulus? Honestly, I think it is possible, and there may be a chance of it returning for the reasons I laid out earlier. Ridley Scott is involved, so it's not impossible some stuff could carry over from his prequels, and it's set after Prometheus and Covenant, and their story was never finished in a 3rd film. So could they perhaps integrate some of Scott's original ideas for a 3rd prequel into Romulus and include them that way? Do I think it should? Well, I'm easy either way. I think it would be a good opportunity to include some ideas from the cancelled third prequel, but only if it works well. But I don't think it's essential, and I don't think the new movie would suffer for it not including the Black Goo. I think it can't hurt, but it isn't necessary. So this is the part where you come in. Let me know in the comments if you think the Black Goo will return, and whether or not you think it would be a good idea. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed what you saw, then give it a like for the time and effort it took me to make it, and I'll see you next time.